So, as a keyboard player who has started his career in the early 80s, you're well known to all to the whole development of keyboards, of synthesizers, of all that stuff. Nowadays, you can sit at your laptop and do it. Do you remember the beginnings and all the old instruments? Do you still have some of them?
Sure, I remember it all, and it's been an exciting time to live through the development of synthesizers as they came. I learned on a patch cable synthesizer, and I'm so grateful that I learned it in that time, because you have to understand signal flow. If you don't set up your patch right, when you get to the end, you get nothing.
Yeah.
So you have to learn signal flow, and signal flow is the most important thing to understand in audio recording and in synthesizers synthesis. And the interesting thing today, whether it's a keyboard or if it's a plug-in, it doesn't matter. Inside, it's the same thing. And as long as you understand the concepts, which is what I was fortunate to learn very young, the concepts keep applying. When I was learning synthesis, none of the keyboards that I'm using today, none of the equipment, none of it existed. There were no computers. There was none of this fancy stuff. But the concepts were exactly the same. Yeah. So by learning the concepts and understanding signal flow, I was able to apply that to all the new technologies as they came out. So, I always try to advise young players today, learn why things work. No, don't just learn what buttons to press till it sounds good. Yeah. Learn why it does that, because the instruments that you'll be using 5 years from 10 years now, we can't even imagine what is still to come. Yeah. But the concepts of signal flow will be the same.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a favorite synthesizer of all times, or two or three?
I can't pick one. To me, the different synthesizers, some of the classic ones through the years, each one has its own iconic sound. The Mini Moog, which now the Voyager, and of course the Arturia's Mini Moog Mini Moog V. So again, there's that one type of sound, and then there's the DX7 and FM synthesis was fantastic. The Oberheims were amazing. The Roland, all the different manufacturers at one time or another have had these classic sounds. To me, you can't choose one over the other. It's like painting with one shade of red, with one color but different shades of red. You can get all these different textures. I left out Kurzweil has had some great keyboards over the years too.
You're still playing Kurzweil on stage?
Yes, but now it's all controllers. Yeah. Everything lives in main stage now, so all of my keyboards on stage are controllers. But the thing is, I view all of the different synthesizers as sort of my palette to paint from. Yeah. And you don't want to paint with only one color that has a lot of different shades. So that's why it's important to have the Moogs, the Oberheims, the Yamahas. They all have a different personality, and especially when going to replicate music, like for example in Billy Joel's case, where his music spans 30 years, and he was always using whatever technology was current at the time that he was making those records. But now to reproduce all that stuff, you have to have all the different tools. If I tried to do it all with one synthesizer, it'd be close. It would be similar, but not authentic enough to capture the personality of the sounds that he had from all the different generations of technology that he recorded through.
Yeah, you just mentioned main stage and the way you work now on stage. I think we're going to see this as well, but this will be a different video. Going to explain that in German. Wir haben noch ein weiteres Video für euch, da könnt ihr sehen, mit welchen Instrumenten und welchem Gear der David auf der Bühne tatsächlich arbeitet. So now let's talk about your work when you're not working with Billy Joel. You told me once that you're producing more music on your own, and that you work with young talents and all that stuff. Tell me, what are you doing right now?
Sure. Well, I'm working with an amazing talent, Ethan Bortnick. He's 15 now. I've been working with him for quite a number of years. And we have in the States, we have a network called PBS, Public Broadcasting System, and they do a lot of concert specials and things like that. So I did when Ethan was 12. I was his musical director, still am, and we did a concert for PBS where we had a 40-piece orchestra, 100-piece choir, a band, backup singers, and Ethan at 12 years old comes out and fronts the whole thing, and he's just a remarkable kid, way beyond his years in terms of his stage presence, his musicality and stuff. So now I'm writing some songs with him and producing some new songs, so we have an ongoing relationship and looking to develop him as an artist.
There are videos on YouTube as well. I've seen a few of them.
Oh, you did?
He's a great kid,
Yeah.
and he's a natural talent. He goes to stage and he's an entertainer.
Yes, he's as gifted as an entertainer as he is as a musician. He's just a natural.
Yeah.
Stuff that you can't learn. You can't teach somebody how to do that. He just got up on stage and did it.
Wow, it was amazing. Ihr solltet euch mal auf YouTube das angucken. Wir werden den Link unter das Video packen. Auch mal zu dem jungen Mann. Das ist wirklich sehenswert. Das Entertainer, geborener Entertainer. So, but you still have your own band, and you still have obviously a little bit more time for doing something else.
Yeah, no, I'm constantly working. I'm always doing something aside from working with Ethan and working on correcting Billy Joel's sheet music. And a few years back, I did a record with Happy the Man. It was a progressive rock album, and we're in the process of re-releasing that record right now because it's been out of print for some time. A long time back, I had my own band, Red Dawn, which Chuck Berge was in that band, and he's now in Billy Joel's band. I'm always doing something. It's there's an expression when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So I love what I do, and I'm constantly doing, if not this, that. I have my own studio at home and doing session work, and I'm always doing something. It's there's no shortage of things to do.
So that's great. Thank you very much, David. If our audience wants to see you live, once a month you still play at Madison Square Garden together with Billy Joel.
Yes.
So they probably go on holiday to New York and buy a ticket. Probably they should buy it early enough.
Early enough, yeah. It's tough to get a ticket.
Yeah.
It's been an incredibly successful run. We're doing it. It's a residency at Madison Square Garden, which nobody has ever done before, and it's one show per month, and we're going to continue as long as demand stays. And there's been no slowdown. We've done 32 shows already, and it's just truly remarkable. It's especially exciting for me because I grew up in New Jersey, and which is right next to New York. And when I was a kid, I used to go to concerts at Madison Square Garden. So now to be able to play there so many times is really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Wow. Thank you very much, David. Thank you.
Welcome.